Allen, Anderson, Bates, Bell, Berryhill, Block, Canella, De Leon, Fuller, Gaines, Galgiani, Glazer, Hall, Hancock, Hernandez, Hertzberg, Hill, Hueso, Huff, Jackson, Lada, Leno, Leyva, Liu, McGuire, Mendoza, Mitchell, Monning, Morlock, Morrell, Wynn, Nilsson, Pan, Pavley, Roth, Runner, Stone, Vidak, Wykowski, Wolk.
Colleagues, a quorum is present. With that, would the members and our guests beyond the rail and in the gallery please rise? We will be led in prayer this afternoon by our chaplain, Sister Michelle Gorman, after which please remain standing. We will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag by Senator Leyva.
Let us center ourselves in God's presence. And today's prayer is taken from Psalm 19. The heavens are telling the glory of God, and their expanse is declaring the work of God's hands. There is no speech, nor are there words. Their voice is not heard. Yet their music goes out through all the earth, and their utterances to the end of the world. The law of the Lord is perfect, restoring the soul. But who can discern their own weaknesses? Acquit us, O Lord, from our hidden faults. Let our fears not have dominion over us. Then we shall become a beneficial presence, freely and fully surrendered to your love. Loving God, may the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in your sight this day. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Under privileges of the floor, Senator Pan at the Pro Tem's desk.
Thank you, Madam President, members. By now, we have all heard about the American heroes that stopped the potential massacre on Friday aboard a high-speed train bound for Paris. It is a tremendous honor to let you know that these childhood friends grew up right here in Sacramento. Sacramento and all of California are very proud of these international heroes. Anthony Sadler, a senior at California State University, Sacramento. Spencer Stone, a serviceman in the U.S. Air Force. And Alec Skartulatos, a National Guardsman based in Oregon. They, along with a British passenger, made the split-decision decision to act and risk their own lives to save everyone on board. The gunman was armed with an AK-47 assault weapon and 9 magazines of ammunition. He certainly had the gunpowder to kill every person on that train. But that did not happen. And we thank these very brave young men for their quick thinking and swift action. Today, they were awarded France's highest honor, the Legion of Honor. We look forward to their return to Sacramento soon, and I look forward to celebrating them with each of you. Along with the mayor's office, Mayor Johnson, we are working to ensure that they get a hero's welcome with a parade in their honor. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak of these great heroes. Members, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Pan, and let's please give them a round of applause in their absence for their bravery and heroism. And also duly noted, they probably have done more for Franco-American relations in that one extraordinary act than has been done in years. So we are deeply in their debt. Thank you, Senator Pan. Are there any other privileges of the floor? Under motions and resolutions, without objection, a photographer will be allowed on the floor for today's session. And under privileges of the floor, Senator De Leon. Senator De Leon.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, Madam President, and colleagues. We here in the legislature have a term for members who agree to present our bills on the floor of the other house. We call them jockeys. But we really don't do that phrase justice, because we don't have to climb on the back of a 1,000-pound horse, racehorse that is, traveling at 40 to 45 miles per hour. We don't have to stay in tip-top physical condition, maintain our weight, and train until we are one with the horse. Colleagues, it is my great pleasure to introduce to each and every one of you a real jockey, the first jockey to win the celebrated Triple Crown of horse racing since 1978, and the very first Latino jockey to ever win the Triple Crown. We're talking about Victor Espinoza, who rode to Triple Crown glory this year on American Pharoah, highlighting an already magnificent career, a career that includes more than 3,200 trips to the winner's circle. Now, a resident of Southern California, more specifically Sierra Madre, in Southern California, Victor has been a great source of pride for all of California. A native of Mexico, he exemplifies the contributions immigrants bring to our state and the wonderful tapestry of ethnicities, cultures, experiences that is California. Victor was born in Tulancingo, Hidalgo, near Pachuca, in Mexico. He began riding horses as a child on his family's dairy farm. At age 15, he began helping his brother, who trained quarter horses. At 17, he drove a bus to pay for jockey school. Victor immigrated to the United States back in 1990, unable to speak a lick of English. Yet Victor let his riding do his talking. By 1994, just 4 years after he came to this great state, this great country, he had become the leading apprentice rider at the Bay Meadows and Golden Gate Field racetracks in the Bay Area. He rode to prominence in 2000 with a victory at the Breeders' Cup. The next year, he rode for the very first time in the Kentucky Derby and finished third. Victor is the first jockey to ever have 3 chances, the first jockey in the history of horse racing to ever have 3 chances at winning the Triple Crown. In 2002, he won the Derby and the Preakness Stakes, riding War Emblem, if you remember War Emblem. Last year, I'm sure many of you recall, we were all riveted across the country, but especially in California, when he won the Derby as well as the Preakness aboard another California favorite, California Chrome. That was him. And the third time was indeed the charm for Victor as he captured the Triple Crown this year. And, which gives a lot of us senators hope, at age 43, Victor achieved another first. He is actually the oldest jockey in the history to ever win what is certainly one of the greatest achievements in sports. Victor also, as a human being, is as generous as he is talented. He donates 10% of all of his winnings to the City of Hope to support pediatric cancer research. That's incredible. 10% of all of his earnings are donated to the City of Hope down in Southern California for pediatric cancer research. Following his Triple Crown victory, he donated not 10%, not 40% or 50% or even 75%. He donated 100% of his Belmont Stakes winnings to the City of Hope. Colleagues, it is indeed an honor and a pleasure as we come together, Democrats and Republicans, respected senators, to recognize someone who is truly a hero, a role model for all of our young children in the state of California. A great, great Californian. Colleagues, please give a warm Senate welcome to the great Victor Espinoza. Victor Espinoza, Triple Crown winner.
Warm Senate welcome. Mr. Yes.
Madam
Senator
President, just
De
real
Leon.
quickly, too, just to show you how busy and probably how physically tired Victor is. Yesterday, he was at Del Mar and ran the last race in Del Mar, drove from Del Mar to Sierra Madre to be with his family, got to the airport this morning to fly up here just to be with the Senate and with each and every one of you. That is Victor, right
We
there.
are deeply honored.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, while we are all getting our moment of glory here, Senator Nielsen, do you wish to be acknowledged?
If I may, on privileges, Madam President.
Under privileges of the floor, Senator Nielsen.
Madam President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, I know Senator Pan made an acknowledgement of our three American heroes, true heroes. I must as well, since I represent where they live. One is now in Oregon, but they all came from the 4th Senate District. Anthony Sadler, a student at CSU Sacramento. Spencer Stone and Alex Sakartos. These three gentlemen rose to the occasion and prevented truly a terrorist act that surely would have cost many lives. He did not succeed because they had the courage to stand up for the people there with them in the train and for the people of the world, actually, because their example is going to live on. They were local students. They still have local families. We're going to try to bring them here to the state capitol to give them our thanks. But above all, even though one nearly lost a finger and had his life at risk, they rose to the occasion. But they clearly are humble men, not glorifying themselves as heroes, recognizing others who helped in those brief moments. I think it best is summed up. Before they were to meet the French president, Francois Hollande, Sandler sighed. He was asked, what had he learned from this very scary experience? He said, in times of crisis like that, the lesson would be to do something. To do something. Hiding or sitting back is not going to accomplish anything, and the gunman would have been successful if Alec and Spencer had not gotten up. The lesson to be learned is in the times of terror, please do something. Don't just stand and watch. In the world today, we are in the times of terror, and it is incumbent on us to be mindful of what these three men did, and each of us in our own ways rise to the occasion.
Thank you, Senator Nielsen. Senator Stone,
Thank you, Madam President. For purposes of introduction,
without objection.
I'm very honored to have a couple of guests here today. One of my staff members, also former mayor and councilman from the city of Indio, Mr. Glenn Miller, in the back of the room, and also the city manager, my good friend Dan Martinez, who's here today visiting the Senate. Please give them a warm Senate welcome today. Thank you.
And in that spirit, I would take a moment of personal privilege. I was able to persuade my own spouse to come up and spend a little time with us in the back of the hall. My husband, my best friend and partner, the Honorable George Eskin. Anything else under privileges of the floor? Yes. Senator De Leon. Senator De Leon.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, today I would like to recognize a group of Guatemalan American leaders. We have today with us the Republic of Guatemala flag that is draped right here next to our California flag. Thank you very much, Mr. Wachowski, for pointing it out. Today, these Guatemalan American leaders are representing several organizations across the state that work towards promoting the well-being of the Guatemalan community here in the state of California. More than 1 million Guatemalans live here in the United States, making them the 5th largest Latino population in the nation. Half the Guatemalan population actually reside here in the state of California, primarily in Los Angeles as well as the Bay Area. Guatemala's history has been marred by political strife, but also by the courageous struggle by its people to seek a better life. And there's no better example than the uprising on October 20th, 1944, when a group of university students, workers, farmers, teachers, and young military members stood up against an authoritative government and initiated the Guatemalan Revolution. In remembrance of that struggle and the continued efforts of the Guatemalan people to promote democracy and the well-being of Guatemalans and Guatemalan Americans alike, I would like to recognize October 20th in a couple more months as El Día del Guatemalteco, Day of the Guatemalan. As is true of all of our immigrant communities in California, Guatemalan Americans have contributed immensely to the social, professional, and political arenas in the state of California. In short, they really add to the amazing tapestry of who we are and how we define ourselves as a state and as a country. Our guests today are perfect examples of the hardworking and dedicated Guatemalan men and women and child that add to the diverse fabric of this incredible state. With us today are Benito Morales from Quiche, Guatemala, with Convergencia, Nestor Villatoro, founding president of the American Association of Guatemala, as well as Mariel Caraballo Montalvo, Armiles Ortiz, Policarpo Cha, Mario Cha, Luis Arturo Alvarado, Alex Alvarado, Baltasar Hernandez, and with us coming, but she stayed in Los Angeles, Rosa Posadas. Again, colleagues, let's please give a warm welcome, welcoming our constituents and recognizing October 20th as El Día del Guatemalteco y que vive el Chapín. Thank you very much, colleagues.
Welcome to our guests. Delighted to have you with us. Continuing under privileges of the floor, Senator Gaines.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm celebrating my 30th wedding anniversary today, and Beth has put up with me for 30 years, and we are just so thrilled to have 6 beautiful children and to share my life with her. So thank you so much.
Congratulations, Senator Gaines and Assemblymember Gaines. Not an easy feat. All right, anything else under privileges of the floor? Are there any other privileges of the floor? Senator Pavley.
While we're waiting a moment to start the real work of the session, just wanted to wish my son, David Kerr Pavley, a very happy birthday. It's his birthday today.
And
first one I've ever missed.
All right. Well, happy birthday to David. He will know that he is here in spirit and in your heart. All right, seeing no further privileges of the floor, messages from the governor will be deemed read, messages from the assembly will be deemed read, reports of committee will be deemed read, and amendments adopted under motions, resolutions, and notices. Without objection, Senate Bill 440 will be ordered to enrollment. Members, without objection, Joint Rule 62A will be waived for the Judiciary Committee to meet and hear Senate Bill 168 on Thursday, August 27th, without 4-day notice in the daily file. And pursuant to Senate Rule 29.10, the following bills are referred to the Rules Committee, File Item 29, SB 464. Again, under motions, resolutions, and notices, Senator Cannella.
Thank you, Madam President. At the request of the author, please remove AB 1242 from the inactive file and place it on the third reading.
Without objection. Senator Hill.
Thank you, Madam President. Please remove file item A19, AB 1540 from the inactive file, please.
That will be so noted.
Thank you.
Anything else under motions, resolutions, and notices? Seeing none, let us move forward to consideration of the daily file. Under second reading file, Mr. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 940, 388, 315, 921, 1129, and Assembly Bill 538.
Second reading will be deemed completed. Under governor's appointments, Senator De Leon, do you wish to take them up at this time? Governor's appointments. File item 8, colleagues. Senator De Leon.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Colleagues, we have Aida Molina as well as Trish Williams. Both members are up for confirmation for the State Board of Education. They were both heard in Rules Committee on July 15th. Both were passed on a 4-0 vote, no opposition, bipartisan vote. Ms. Molina is an assistant superintendent in the Bakersfield City School District as she's being reappointed to the board. Trish Williams is the executive director of EdSource and is also a reappointment. Both are engaged and capable in their current duties. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Any debate or discussion on this appointment? Any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. I. Anderson. I. Bates. I. Bell. I. Berryhill. I. Block. I. Cannella. I. De Leon. I. Fuller. I. Gaines. I. Galgiani. I. Glazer. I. Hall. I. Hancock. I. Hernandez. I. Hertzberg. I. Hill. I. Wesso. Huff. Jackson. I. Latta. I. Leno. I. Leva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. I. Mitchell. I. Monning. I. Morlock. I. Morrell. I. Wynn. I. Nilsson. Pan. Pavley. I. Roth. I. Runner. Stone. I. Vidak. I. Wykowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Wesso, aye. Huff. I. Nilsson. I. Pan. I. Runner.
Ayes 39, no 0. Those appointments are confirmed. Senator De Leon, file item 9.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Last set of governor appointees today, we have Mr. Steve Winkle, who is a reappointment to the Building Standards Commission, as well as Mr. Ernest Y. Chung, who's a state member of Parks and Recs. Again, both appointees were heard on July 15th, passed on a 4-0 vote. There was no opposition. One, again, is Mr. Winkle, Building Standards Commission. Mr. Ernest Young, Parks and Rec. Both are reappointments. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Any debate or discussion on these appointments? Seeing and hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. I. Anderson. Bates. I. Bell. I. Berryhill. I. Block. I. Cannella. I. De Leon. I. Fuller. I. Gaines. I. Galgiani. I. Glazer. I. Hall. I. Hancock. I. Hernandez. I. Hertzberg. I. Hill. I. Wesso. I. Huff. I. Jackson. I. Latta. I. Leno. I. Leva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. I. Mitchell. I. Monning. I. Morlock. I. Morrell. I. Wynn. I. Nilsson.
What is that?
I. Pan. I. Pavley. I. Roth. I. Runner. Stone. I. Vidak. I. Wykowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye. Anderson, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Runner.
Ayes 39, no 0. Those appointments are confirmed.